Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as.
Alright. So we're versing Tryndamere this game. I know there's a few people that have said they struggle with the Tryndamere matchup, so hopefully we can show you how we play it out. They have a lot of the time been going Grasp. They go sometimes Fleet Footwork as well, but Grasp's probably the better and harder for you to deal with. So his game plan has sort of changed from how it used to be with Lethal Tempo. He no longer wants to all in, he kind of just wants to do like a couple autos and E away. So rather than let him do short trades, we kind of want to extend them. Whereas before we kind of wanted to do short trades ourselves.
You ready, Scarl? This day is gonna require some mind-blowing weirdness.
We see he's in lane, so we're just going to go here. We don't want to let him build up his fury on the wave, so we're just going to run at him straight away. Unfortunately, we missed that Q pretty badly. Just going to ignite early here. Yeah. Make sure you're always kiting back. You do beat him level 1 since Lethal Tempo's gone. Even with me missing Q there, you can see we kind of just remount and win. Usually, unless you get cornered against the wall or something, you'll be able to kite back.
Don't get your britches all rumbled. Hey, it's forward Admiral.
But yeah, the main thing is don't let him just build up his fury for free. If you just let him hit the wave for free, you're gonna struggle. And we want to hold our second skill point. If he walks up, we can look to level W. I want to try and crash this wave and just back before the next wave hits. Unfortunately, bit of a bad situation. We'll just try and shove this wave.
I do not want my lands taken. I want them unruly and free.
I'm definitely dead here. That was a good Q by him, yeah. Let's sell pot, get refillables.
Well, just 'cause you're a hallucination and I don't speak lizard, don't mean I can't.
That's okay, not too bad. We should be able to catch our wave. It's not hard pushing. Ideally, we should have shoved that wave a bit faster and not have it get caught on the tower like it did. So that way we can just back and Mumu wouldn't be able to gank us. I like to back before like 3 minutes, just before 3 minutes 20-ish. So that way when the jungle does a full clear from bot to top, by the time they get to your lane you're not there and they just go somewhere else. It's the best strategy. Or if you're on red side, I don't really do it on blue side, but if you're on red side I like to invade their jungle after your third minion wave when you're level 3 and look to kill them while your wave is shoved so your laner can't help out.
I'm Kled, and this here's Scarl. Prepare to die.
So we need a bit of space to be able to run him down, so we want to shove this so it rebounds.
You can't be lonely when the land is this beautiful.
Killing spree. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Double kill. You have slain an enemy.
As you see there, I just held my W till I dismounted. What I like to do with that is not level it as soon as you dismount most of the time. I like to do one auto attack and then level it. Because that first auto attack, you need 5 autos and a Q hitting all pellets to remount. And that first auto, if you use that first and then level your W, the auto after that comes out quicker. Because you gain the attack speed straight away. See, the cooldown between your autos is slightly faster. We're just gonna look to shove. Good thing about Kled Qs, everyone tries to break it. So if they're trying to hold the wave, if you hit a Q, more often than not they'll just run away and try and break it, and that way it lets you push the wave easily. We're probably just gonna rush Ravenous. Ravenous is pretty good into Tryndamere. It helps you keep up with his Q healing. And also, Tryndamere players these days like to rush Ravenous themselves. Any champ that rushes Ravenous themselves, I usually just try and grab a Ravenous in response. That way they don't just have a sustain advantage against you.
They tried using that boiling oil on us, but you can't deep fry her.
Look, just to grab this plate here. Now that he's 6, we have to be careful of his ult. Obviously, we want to make it look like we're going to commit, but not actually commit. We can use our R to cancel his engage there. We don't want to actually dismount because then it makes it a bit more of a challenge. We want to keep our mount, so we're just going to use ult there.
Don't need a plan, long as I got this axe. You think you can run?
Nope. Stuffed my flash a bit there. But we should be able to get him. Shouldn't have to ignite here. Moves there. Yeah, so we wanna sort of make him have to waste his ult before we demount. That's sort of the game plan. And time your demount so you have your W up. If you don't have your W up when you demount, you're kind of screwed. But so what you can do is if you're like close to demounting and you see your W coming up, just don't auto attack and just let him hit you, which is the ideal play. So that way he hits you, you demount, and then you instantly have your W to remount. Because if you don't have your W up, then obviously it's just gonna mop the floor with you and you're just gonna lose. But later on if you've got like a bit of a lead and whatnot, sometimes you can just like win, just kill him without demounting, which is kind of the game plan. Once you get to the point where you can kill him without demounting, then you're pretty much guaranteed to win most of the time, because he's forced to use his ult before you demount in a trade, which is good for you. Also, Ignite is really good into him because most Tryndamere players won't level their ultimate, because their ultimate increases the threshold that they're left on while they're ulting, the health threshold, which means he gets less damage from his Q, because his Q gives him more damage the lower he is. But Ignite, if you Ignite just as his ult's ending, his Q won't ever heal him enough to outlive your ignite damage, so you always have that little trick where he tries to run away, you can click ignite. Because of the Grievous and the damage it does, he'll usually just die to it, especially if it's only done like one tick. Since we demounted, we don't want to use our W in front of him without gaining a large chunk of courage first, because otherwise he could jump on us and just kill us. See, if we do use W on the wave, you should run back until it's up. So we'll try and just use it on him, which he's letting us do. And he's dead here. That's the power of Ignite. Normally you'd use it a little bit sooner, but obviously I wasn't too worried about him getting away. He doesn't have Flash or Ghost up yet, so... I was seeing if I could kill him without it, but we had to use it, so... I tend to be fairly greedy with my Ignite. I like to make sure that they're definitely gonna live before I use it most of the time. Especially versus someone like Tryndamere, that's like... Ignite is very useful against. Might look to kill him here, I think Sona. Oh. That was smart by him. That's what you should do if someone's holding you there in that situation. Try and walk through the jungle to get to lane. So that way you don't have to run into them and sort of risk them just killing you. We're gonna go for an Eclipse. The Ravenous, when you're against him, sort of gives you like artificial tankiness, even though it lets you just one-shot him. That's what I like about it. Like if you go a build with not enough damage against Tryndamere, he's just gonna sit there and whack you, and like there's nothing you can do. You sort of need to have the pressure of being able to kill him. And Ravenous obviously just makes you tanky by lifestealing off the wave constantly. He's actually proxying at the moment. Not really ideal for us, but it is what it is. Our jungle is a bit fed. So I guess this one's in the bag. But
Don't you bite me again.
see if we can get Xin to deal with him. Sort of want this first turret. First turret, if you guys haven't realized, it's got recently buffed to 600 gold. So it's a massive chunk of gold to get first turret. You should always be trying for it. Play around it very often these days. Just try and push and get it. Be able to catch Tryndamere. Uh-oh. Gonna E him. And that's the power of Ignite again. He should be dead. Yep. That's why Ignite. Pretty good in the Tryndamere. Always want to take Ignite into him. But yeah, in a situation like that, you see your opponent sort of running towards a wall, and it looks like they're gonna flash. You always want to E them first, so that way you can follow them over the wall like I did there. And obviously he just can't get away from us after that. Didn't quite get the first turret though, unfortunately. Now we're just going to recall here, we can afford our item. If you are sort of struggling and you get behind for whatever reason, maybe you've got ganked a couple times or whatever, you can also run steel caps, which are pretty good. This game I'm running magical footwear, which I like to just sit on most of the time if I run this rune, because it gives an extra 10 move speed. So I'm not really that much slower than him, I'm only 10 move speed behind, so it's alright. That's why I run it, so that way I can focus on just building damage, which I don't always run it, but especially if you're worried you're gonna struggle into any matchup you're in, especially AD matchups, things like Darius, you shouldn't really run magical footwear at all, because if you do, obviously if you fall behind you can't build boots till like 12 minutes, so he just rushes boots and just outspeeds you the whole game.
Once you get used to the madness and paranoia.
They're gonna look here this wave, I guess.
Quit your worry.
It's something I do like to do. If I see my mid roaming for whatever, I like to roam down, grab their wave. Don't do it if your mid's like just pissed at you for no reason. Obviously they might just run it down and you lose the game, but most of the time when I do it, they don't actually like lose anything, because yeah, they lost the wave, but you push the wave into the turret, and the enemy mid laner, if they're also roaming, also misses out on the wave. I think Tryndamere is actually behind us in the alcove. Very cool, I guess.
Legendary. Double kill. An enemy has been slain. Legendary.
Jungle is just going crazy, I guess. The power of Ravenous Eclipse combo is that your short trades are really powerful, because obviously you get the shield, and you can do a negative trade, especially if they don't have Ravenous. You can do like an even trade or even a negative trade and then just heal off the wave. So pretty much any trading is bad for them most of the time. I'm just gonna do that, chunk him out and hopefully get this tier 2 turret. See. Oh, we got hit by Kai'Sa. Unfortunate. We probably could have killed the Tryndamere there. Our Ravenous proc was almost up, but Kai'Sa W hit us, which is unfortunate. We'll probably look just to go into Black Cleaver. Contrary to what most people think, like building Pen isn't actually that bad against people that don't have armor. Since like, yeah, if someone is stacking armor, you're gonna shred more armor, but the way armor and magic resist scaling works is that the less you have, the more impactful each point is. So you might be shredding less armor off them, but it's still a similar % damage mitigation at the end of the day. Like, so it's actually not too bad just to get it anyways, which I normally do. Obviously lethality is more impactful if they have less armor, which is true, but it's not really the same with % armor shred. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's just I thought they were FFing or something, but no, he's just pressing buttons. He realizes it doesn't matter what he does, I guess.
Killing spree.
But yeah, don't really get to show much macro, since our jungle is just hard stomping, but at least we got some good examples of how you want to play laning phase. Oh, I just missed that Q terribly. And that one. In that situation like there with the Kai'Sa, I often like to sort of walk back like I'm running away and then re-engage. Obviously there I just missed my Q, so I can't really do nothing, but if you land your Q, more often than not you can usually just kill him and then trade 1-for-1. Most of the time it's easier to trade 1-for-1 than it is to just run away, so I often just try and do that. Sometimes you can even come out like on top, remount and whatnot.
I grew up mean, now I'm older than murder. Calm down, you
But yeah, with Tryndamere, you pretty much always want to match his split as well. Not that I can really show it much this game, but you always want to sit in the side lane, especially if you're winning. Well, I suppose if you're losing too, but it's a bit more challenging if you're losing. But if you played the early game right, you shouldn't really lose to Tryndamere. It's a fairly easy matchup.
share this with him.
So yeah, but you always want to be matching his split so that way he's not getting like free turrets and whatnot.
Don't get weird.
If you are losing for whatever reason, you can try and loop behind him, like similar to what he was doing to me with Tiamat, and just clear the waves, not let him near the turrets. Normally he can't dive you, like it's pretty challenging for him to dive you, especially if you're still mounted, because you have your R to cancel his engage, and then you have a remount which you could potentially just remount and he just dies, so it's pretty risky for him to dive you, but you should always be building Tiamat just to keep up with his wave clear into him. I usually rush it every game, like it's kind of important to keep the waves off your turret, especially if you're losing, because you don't want him just ignoring you and whacking the turret, which obviously diving you is pretty hard, but he can do that. So you don't want to let the wave go near the turret in the first place. You sort of want to insta clear it, which you can usually do around like level 9 when you have Tiamat, even if it's not upgraded. You can usually just EQ, kill the whole wave, and then like W, auto attack a few minions, a few melees, or the cannon if it's cannon wave. Nope. Sort of got my ASO stunned there by dodging it, but... Oh. That was terrible. I stuffed my E flash. That was just a disaster, to be honest. I don't know what happened there. Also, I normally like to cross map a lot with Kled, which is, for example, this drags up, so usually if the drags up I'd go top. In this sort of situation obviously we just have the siege minions pushing it, so we don't really need to, but assuming we didn't take the inhib, I like to cross map, and even if both teams go for the drag, if all 5 of them show up, I'm usually free top to just take turrets, tier 2 turrets, whatnot, which is a lot of gold, so I'll usually just ping my team to give the drag and take the turret for it. Unless it's like soul dragon, or sometimes even third drag, I'll roam down, but usually I like to draw pressure from across the map. Also, if my laner does respond to it, what you can do is just push the wave into the turret and then use your R to roam down. Obviously, sometimes they'll have TP, like depending on who you're versing and what summoners they'll take, so they can match it, but R, like your R for TP is a pretty good trade, so.
All we need is open country, but we gotta take everything they got. Quit your worrying.
We
An
don't
enemy
need him.
has been slain.
My land begins where I want.
An ally has been slain.
Clearing the wave, I think.
Get back here, you snoot-gazing blabbler!
Ah, unfortunate. I should have R'd there, but I kind of just got blown up by a passive 1500 magic damage. But yeah, what I did with Amumu there was deliberately got hit by his Q and then casted my Q to buffer into it. So that way I'm essentially not stunned, but I kind of forced him to engage on me, making him think he could kill me. Which he had no chance, but obviously Kai'Sa champion just teleporting in, so... Might get move treads here.
Well, you the only thing I trust.
Oh! What did I walk into? Oh! Whew! Wow. Penta maybe? Even get him the Penta. I don't think Bard wants to give it at all. Just running to the back of his fountain.
Your team has destroyed Kled.
Doesn't even want to try for it. That's GG anyways.
Victory!
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as